Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a major upcoming snowstorm. We talked about this storm a couple of days ago, so we're just going to be continuing on talking about that same storm. Now, before I get started with this video, though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very awesome store where we have awesome products there, and also check out our Patreon page where we're actually making a post this morning about another upcoming storm right after this one that could be even more major. So you can check that out for cheaper than the price of a Starbucks coffee, and you can always cancel. So I highly recommend you at least check it out. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, what is the maximum amount of snowfall you think anyone will see from this upcoming snowstorm? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get into this video, and first things first, we're just getting started with our simulated radar. You can see by the time we're reaching about, I'd say 8 a.m. on Sunday time frame, November 29th, we're going to begin to see precipitation down there for the deep south. We can also see a pretty major trough up there to the north, so these two features are going to come together, and that's what's going to create a major snowstorm here. So let's just move it on towards about, I would say probably 11 p.m. on Sunday, November 29th still. And as you can see, that low pressure center has moved further northeast. It's becoming more intense. And also we see that more intense trough now meeting it, and it's really diving in. We're really going to see some cold temperatures move in, guys. Pretty much from the 1st of December all the way through at least like the 10th of December. We're going to be dealing with pretty frequent cold here in the eastern half of the United States. What we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to move on towards about 8 a.m. on Monday, where we're going to begin to see snow from this system. All right, and here we are by about 8 a.m. on Monday, like I said, and as you can see, there's actually a good amount of snow around for the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and that low pressure center is located right over West Virginia as a 997 millibar low pressure center, which is actually quite intense. So we're seeing that snowfall going on mostly for Indiana and Ohio there. That is going to spread to further regions around the area very shortly. Again, that trough is just very major, very potent right there. Let's move it on towards about 2 p.m. on, or maybe even 5 p.m. on Monday, November 30th. As you can see, that low pressure center is now located somewhere around Erie, Pennsylvania, in between Erie, Pennsylvania and Buffalo, New York there, as a 993 millibar low pressure center. We're not seeing too much heavy snowfall going on compared to what we saw a couple of days ago the models were calling for. Again, this could definitely change. We have enough time for this to look more major, less major. It definitely doesn't look like a blizzard anymore, and that's been because the models have trended weaker with it, which is very normal for models to, be a little off on their ideas pretty early on and then shift a little bit. That's why I was always saying potential blizzard, because I knew that this was definitely a possibility that the models would back off quite a bit. We're still expecting a foot of snow or more to be possible, so this does not look any less major. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards about 5 a.m. on December 1st, which is going to be a Tuesday, where we're going to begin to see that cold really dive in. We're going to continue to see snowfall and actually see snow for more and more regions, and we're going to take it all the way to where we could see some snow showers make their way all the way into New England. All of that coming up in just a moment. So again, here we are by about 5 a.m. on Tuesday, December 1st. We see some moderate snowfall still going on for Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. Very surprising areas seeing snowfall this early in the season. We do have a nor'easter offshore of the East Coast there. It does not look like it's going to connect with that trough at this point, which it would lead to snow if that was the case, but it looks like it's going to be a bit offshore. That could trend further back to the west, which would lead to potentially a snowstorm. We will watch that one closely. Let's just take it to about 5 p.m. on Tuesday, December 1st. As you can see, still snowfall going on for Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, areas like that. It's now a 992 millibar low pressure center right over Toronto, possibly. Very interesting there. And then it kind of leads to just snow showers for portions of the Northeast, portions of New England as well. Really just fizzles out after that point. So really, it's looking less major. I do see the potential for this one to kind of trend back more major. Again, just as quickly as it has trended away from the blizzard type conditions, it could trend back towards those blizzard conditions. So we're going to be watching that closely for the potential for this to either look more intense, less intense. It could really go in either direction, and I do anticipate I'll be making a few more videos about this storm over the coming days until it actually happens. What we're going to do is we're actually going to move on and take a look at what the European model has to say as far as simulated radar. Afterwards, we're going to get right into our total snowfall according to, let's see, the European model, the GFS model, the Canadian model, and our German model. So 4 separate models. We're going to get their opinion on the total snowfall from this storm. Coming up all in a moment. Alright, so here we are taking a look at that European model. And the biggest observation I'm making here is this is by about 11 p.m. on Sunday, November 29th, which is only about 2 days from now. And as you can see, it's a bit further east, I think, than what the GFS model was showing. That trough is looking still very major. But as we take it to about maybe, I would say 2 p.m. on Monday here, you can see that we are seeing some pretty moderate to heavy snowfall going on for Indiana, Ohio, southeastern Michigan there as well. A 995 millibar low pressure center, but it is located over Pennsylvania. It's a bit further east again than what the GFS model was showing just a moment ago. So there is some pretty significant differences here with the two outlooks. Definitely, again, this could shift more major. I do think that the European model, it looks a little bit more major. But once we look at the total snowfall, you'll see it actually looks like the GFS model is more major for some reason. I don't really know what the cause of that is, but I actually think that the European model's solution would actually be a more major snowfall overall, or a snowstorm overall, than what the GFS model is showing. All right, and then by the time we move towards about 8 a.m. on Tuesday, December 1st, it's very apparent there's some huge differences here. Our low pressure center is actually pretty much just north of New York there, which is significantly further east than what it was showing on the GFS model. We're still seeing that kind of light to moderate snowfall for a lot of those Ohio Valley states there, so that's similar to the GFS model at least. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look here quickly at this second storm. Again, this is our Canadian model actually, and this is by December 6th, so we're pretty far out from this one, but it could be very major for New England, the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. If it was to play out this way, this really could play out in many different ways. We're going to be having a discussion about this storm on our Patreon page. Again, you can join that for cheaper than the price of a Starbucks coffee. It's in the description. It's in the pinned comment. I highly recommend you at least check it out because you can always cancel, so it's worth at least checking out. We're going to be having a giant discussion about that. Anyway, what we're going to do is move on and take a look at the total snowfall according to 4 separate models for this upcoming snowstorm. All right, now here we are taking a look at that European model first off. And again, this one actually shows the least amount of snow out of any of the models. So you might be thinking like, whoa, this does not look major at all. This is the least amount of snow I've seen from any of the models. It has a general, very widespread area of, I would say, a dusting to an inch in those gray areas. Kentucky, a lot of Tennessee, seeing some of those amounts. But once you move into the blues, that's where you're at about 2 to 6 inches of snow. So you start to get a lot more once you move into the blues. The deeper blues are closer to 4, 5, 6 inches. The purples is where you're at about 6 to 10 inches of snow. And then those pinks, as you can see in northeastern Ohio there, northern Pennsylvania, and very far western New York. That's lake effect enhanced 100% there. That's where you're taking a look at about 10 to 20 inches of snow. That's actually indicating close to maybe 12 to 16 inches there in those lighter pinks. And again, this is actually the least intense model here. So let's just move on and take a look at our GFS model. And again, on radar, it actually didn't look as intense as the European, but on total snowfall, it looks a lot more intense here. We have more widespread purples, more widespread pinks there throughout northern Ohio, even eastern Michigan there getting in on some of those pinks. So looking a lot more major there. As we take a look at our Canadian model, this one is also looking quite intense here. So we're taking a look at areas like Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania. Pretty widespread pinks here compared to the other two models. Cleveland, we get a lot less on this model compared to the other two. And then our Icon model, which is our German model. And this one keeps it a lot smaller area, but it does have those very potent pink areas where we're taking a look at 12, 13, 14, 15, even 16 inches or 15 and a half there for northern Ohio. So yeah, this These models are definitely trending at the bullseye being at least over a foot of snow. I would say that's definitely a major snowstorm at this point, at least. Again, it could get even more major, or it could get even less intense. We could see a solution closer to what the European model is showing, where we see mostly just a general 6 to 10 inches of snow in that bullseye area. Only time will tell what's going to happen with these systems. So again, I will be updating this for the coming days multiple times. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, we released our final winter forecast yesterday, and Teddy Duncan said, well, I asked you guys, I must tell you first off, that I asked you guys, what do you want this winter to be like? And Teddy Duncan said more snow, more cold, without a doubt. And I know a lot of my viewers actually want that as well, believe it or not. Do you want a colder winter or a warmer winter? Let us know. It's kind of a battle. A lot of people want warmer, a lot of people want colder. I'm curious what you guys want, more or less. Maybe I'll do a poll on my Instagram. You guys can go check that out. I'll do that on my story. Do you like cold winters or warm winters more? And you guys can vote on that on the Instagram. So go check that out. Anyways, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our diamond patrons: Michael Codalessa, Alicia Davis, Marcus Conley, Catbite, Alan Sherry, Madbirds, Terry Curtis, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Felix Wheatfield, Michael Buell, Mariah Vieira, Kellen Manhart, Noah Harley, and Mark J, alongside our platinum patrons: Adam S., Justin Quantrell, Donna Carnes, Alan Belemo, Dovey Nagel, James Wade, Larry LePan, and Cameron Marshall. If you would like to be on this Patreon end screen, you can do so by joining our Patreon page in the description and the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.